So stalling out your rotation going through the golf ball is extremely common of a fault, but it's very fixable. All you need to do is two things and then you're going to be able to fix it. So we're going to look here at one of my online students and the progress he's made with stalling out his rotation to really getting really nicely open and his rate of rotation nice and free and constantly moving. So if you want that in your golf swing, this is the video for you. So I'm Jonathan Chan with JChownGolf. Let's dive right into it. So to showcase exactly what you need to do to fix your stall out of your rotation, we're going to have a look at my student here, Kyle. So we work together on SKILLEST, where I do all my online lessons. We've been working together for probably roughly about 7 months now. He's one of my unlimited lesson subscribers. So really for Kyle here, there's two things we did. So very first lesson we had, very much jumping and stalling like you're going to see with this little clip here. Really a big jump stall, early extension you can say as well. So we need to identify what we need to do to fix it. So the first thing you have to do, figure out why you're stalling out your rotation. You're not stalling it out for no reason. That's not happening. There's something in your golf swing. And what it was with Kyle, he had two really things, one more than the other. He had a slight lack of left arm depth at the top, only slight, wasn't a massive contributor to his stall out, but he had a steep shaft and transition. So that steep shaft caused him then to move his pelvis forward, extend his spine, because then you can see how that moves the center of mass of the club behind. Rotation will take the back seat then, it's not going to happen, because if you rotate from here, chop across really down on it. So we had to fix that first. So then once we fixed that, that was our main thing, and then it was working on how the pivot was working. So getting the actual rotational move in there. Then it is all about us working and grinding on specific drills there. So let's dive into exactly what we did and how you can apply that to your game too. So like we said, two steps we did. One, that was getting rid of the root cause to why we're stalling out. So for Kyle, steepening the shaft. Could be many reasons, but for a lot of you out there, it'll be the same thing. And again, there's actually many reasons for why you steepen the shaft. Put a card up here for that. I'd say come back to this when you watch it after the end of the video. So what we're seeing with Kyle, here's reason why. You get up to the top of the backswing. His arm position wouldn't look too bad. He had quite a bit of almost like a 90-degree angle here with the right arm, which isn't a bad thing. But Kyle would then struggle to get enough of his trail elbow moving back in front of him to shadow the club. So what would be more consistent for Kyle as an individual would be actually getting that right arm a little bit closer to the side at the top of the backswing, which would actually give him more of a slightly laid off shaft. Not really, really is almost across the line for Kyle there, to where then he could still move his right elbow in front to the exact same amount he already was, and then that would shallow the club. Because when Kyle would try to get that back in front of him, he wouldn't do it enough to where that club would steepen. So we worked on two drills. Two drills we did to be able to fix this. Now this takes a long time to be able to fix. Shallowing the golf club, going from steep to shallow takes a long time. So certainly not a quick fix. Like I said, we've been working together for 7 months. We did nunchuck drill. So nunchuck drill, watch my channel recently, you've seen it. To where flip the club over, to where you're grabbing the head of the club, it's on the right hand side of the forearm, gripping it with the left arm, getting up to the top of the backswing. Could see as I do that, I'm putting a little bit of a pressure here for Kyle anyway, for on that right hand, and then we're just moving it in front just like this. That's getting that right elbow to move a little bit better. So that's going to encourage that elbow to get more in front, help to shallow the shaft, not steepen it. We also did drill with a ball, which you're going to see from the after videos that he is doing this drill. Ball training aid. So ball training aid here. Now, it could be this, it could be Tour Striker Smart Ball, which is right there. Any one of these would be fine, because this is, again, going to encourage the arm structure we ideally wanted for Kyle. So, getting up to the top of the swing, keeping this in between the arms here. That's going to keep both elbows close to each other. That means the right arm's going to be a little bit closer to the side. That tiny bit of a laid off shaft there. Now it's going to be easy to keep that structure, squeeze that ball with the right arm in the downswing, which is going to keep that shaft shallow. Doing a lot of those reps, a lot of them. Kyle still does this to this day, still does this. 7 months later, he still does this exact drill to make sure it's embedded in there. If there's anyone that's good at practice, it is, I tell you what, Kyle is a good practicer. So hitting little shots just like this to start off with, that's all you need if this was your problem. So this was the root cause, a lot of religious work on it, and then working on the effect. So after we discussed the reason why he was stalling out and jump stalling at that golf ball, it was then, right, we got this move that we need to do. Now we need to understand how we move the body to be able to do this, to be able to stay in your posture and continue to turn. So we talked about getting more depth of the hips and using a good drill, like with this chair, to do it. So this is the part where you work on your rotation. To stop stalling out, you don't just work on your rotation, you need to work on the reason why as well. So here we go. What we did, chair drill. We had a chair, put it up to the back of the hamstrings, and then we would work on pushing that chair back. We'd have the ball in between our arms whilst we're doing this as well. So pushing the ball back, or pushing the chair back, and then pushing it back with the left hip there in that downswing. You can see as soon as I push that chair backwards, you're going to see how my hips open up and they rotate there. So here's the thing. You can do this drill, and you get it to a place where you can't improve at all because you're not doing it properly with the intent. I'm really stressed it to Kyle, like I do with all my students that we would do this drill with. You need to push the chair, really push it. Don't just try to keep yourself in contact with that chair. It won't do a thing. You're already trying to stay in posture when you're swinging your jump stalling. So why try to stay in perfect posture when you're doing the drill? Which would be obviously keeping your pelvis on the chair. We want to push the chair and push the chair again. We need to create that extreme feel. If you're not doing that, you're not going to improve. You need to extreme things. So you see it opens up and rotates you nicely. So if I grab that ball, we have that ball in between your arms, and it's only optional to work on both things at the same time. If you're a student and if you're a player who does not learn that way, can't do two things at one time, that's me, I can't. That's what you're going to see probably from this shot, it's not going to be the best, is you can work on them both, but you don't have to. You can work on root cause, then you can work on your effects, but if you want to, you can work on both at the same time. This is going to be shallowing my shaft, so for Kyle, it's going to be brilliant, and then working on my pelvis movement. And then there we go. That would, over time, over the course of a long period of time, fix it very nicely. So after that was done, that was our initial thing we started working on. Kyle did loads and loads of that. And then what did he do, which he's absolutely brilliant at, which I encourage all of you to do, and that is pump drills. Working on pump drills. So pump drills is where you get into a specific position in the downswing or wherever really in the golf swing, you repeat it a bunch of times and then you hit the ball. So for us, which we're going to put a little clip again here of Kyle doing a pump drill, you're going to see he's getting into a position here where he's getting that left hip back, he's getting himself into a little bit of forward flexion and then trying to feel like a little right side bend move going through the golf ball. 1, 2, and on the third pump, hit the ball from there. That is the best way you can work on a specific move going through the golf ball. You can see doing something like that, you're not going to be jump stalling through the golf ball, so you'll be getting the perfect rep you want. But again, it will only matter if you fix the reason why you are jump stalling. Then it's just a matter of getting the reps in. Really intentful reps. There we go. So that's where you can mix up your drills if they are targeting it in the exact way you want to. That's why you don't need to do that one all the time. If this is your problem, you can do some pump drills, getting into exact positions whilst you're doing it. Be absolutely perfect. So many of you out there, it's why videos are talking about practice, if you title it how to practice, no one watches it, even though those are the best videos for you improving your golf watching out here. If you don't know how to practice and target specific movements properly, you're never going to improve your golf swing to the extent Kyle has there. That's why I use him as an example for a lot of my lessons, because he has nailed down how to practice and doesn't mind doing like a couple hundred pump drills like that. We only hit the ball 50 yards, or slow motion drills, really working in slow motion and really grinding in that reps. So you can see very clear structure. You fix the root cause to why you jump stall, and then you go and rep out the movement you want. But you can only rep out the movement you want once you fix the root cause. So as you can see, fixing a pivot movement is just a result of hard work and knowing what to do at the right time. and how to practice whilst you're doing it, how you're doing your drills, the intent you're doing them. But as we know, you've got to fix the root cause. So if you want to work with me just like Kyle and have that same process, it's coming into the winter time, or actually, as you can see, it is winter time. Perfect time to start working on it for next season. We can certainly get you into a very similar place. So that's on SKILLEST. I'll put a link down in description. We did the monthly unlimited subscription for this because we can send in and have as much contact as we want, as many videos. They might not all be full lessons, they might be checkup videos, but it's the best way to learn. Full stop. There's no better way in golf to learn than this. In-person lessons, quite outdated in my opinion. They are really, especially if it's a busy golf coach, are you going to improve seeing a golf coach once every 2 months? Not really. Are you going to improve if you're seeing a golf coach 2 times, 3 times, quickly checking in a week? Absolutely you are. That's what we did with Kyle. So if you want that, links in the description. You can work with me and we'll do the exact same thing. So if you enjoyed this video, click that like button. If you want more golf instruction just like this, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button too to be notified every time I make out a video. Wow, how strong of a gust of wind was that? So that's a key that this video is going to stop right now. So let's stop jump stalling. Let's continue that rotation. Oof, and rotate through the ball.